out here. Let's turn this down real quick. We losing our life out here. And, I call this broadcast, being left to die. Because if you don't know by now that the hospitals, the medical industry, big pharma is not your friend, you late to the game. You're just late to the game. When we go in to have babies, the way we think about childbirth, Lord Jesus Christ, y'all don't seem to understand that doing things in this westernized way, it's going to get you caught up every single time. And let me tell you what happens to a lot of women when they go through pregnancy and childbirth. We have a very ignorant approach to it, for one. Okay, we feel like we want to eat all the bullshit that we want to eat and it not affect our womb and not affect our health. Even if you're not pregnant, you think that all this mucus-based food that you eat ain't gonna do shit. You don't think systematic detox is important, and you think that all this stuff is just hearsay and all blah, blah, blah. You ain't did no research. Honey, let me tell you something. An average black person is waiting on a health crisis to hit them smack dead in the face. Can't y'all see that life and health is the great equalizer? It'll take anybody out of here. Cancer, diabetes. And now we know that whole rumor about AIDS. I don't know people that's dying from AIDS, y'all, but I know a ton of people dying from cancer, and I know a ton of women that's got a lot of post-pregnancy complications when they come out that damn hospital. If I were Remy Ma, and this is what happens a lot, we don't really have the understanding of birth and our uterus, for one. Let's just get right the fuck into it. When we're ignorant about breastfeeding, when we're ignorant about having our body in an alkaline state to be in when you're pregnant, and even when you're not pregnant, that stuff catches up with you. You go into the hospital high risk already, full of acid. You're acid based because all the shit, the Philly cheesesteaks and all the little chicken, the fried chicken, and this, you think it's so cute? That's where that baby's got to live, in an acidic fucking house that you have them in. And so you go in there already high risk, preeclampsia. The average black person, we don't eat right. We just don't. And then the other problem with us is that when we try to talk to you about this, you don't want to listen. It sounds crazy. Home birthing. They looked at us like we were crazy when we talked about having our baby at home. There was no other place to have our child. It blows my mind that we keep putting our health in the hands of people that hate us. Why are you going to the doctor for anything? And yeah, I did just ask you that, because outside of emergency procedures, if your arm got cut off and you need to be revived or something like that, outside of emergency medical technicians, what the fuck do doctors have to tell you? And so you going in there and they got all these machines and scans for your baby, exposing you to radiation. And so they wheel you in there, schedule your cesarean section, cut and sever this muscle right here by your womb, right by your uterus. You don't breastfeed. So now what happens with Remy Ma? Now what happens to Judge Hatchett's daughter-in-law, if y'all heard about that? It's getting too common to see these post-birth, the aftermath. After they come out of having these children, everybody doesn't come out okay. We're seeing that right now. We're seeing that the hospitals are not the black woman's friend, whether we're not pregnant or if we are pregnant. So what happens is that you're set on a track from the time you're born to eat acid-based foods, mucus-based foods, which turn into acid. You already don't have good health. You've been on birth control. So you have a history of being exposed to steroids and synthetic steroids at that. So now it's already, you got fibroids. Everybody I see on the goddamn Real Housewives got fibroids. Candy Burris got fibroids. Kenya Moore, she just had her baby, and they had to do an emergency cesarean section on her because of fibroids. And so now we got Remy Ma, and after she had her baby, she goes to the hospital for complications because she's losing a lot of blood. So this is what I would do if I was Remy Ma. And anybody that has had a baby or is thinking about having a baby, I need you to pay attention and listen up. If I were Remy Ma right now, when you are so foolish not to feel like breastfeeding is important, this is what you're missing out on, for one, okay? And I'm going to just go to something very, very important really quick. Now, the benefits of breastfeeding And it's like people really have this ignorant sense of what it is. Now, when you breastfeed, I'm just reading some notes I have here. The oxytocin is released, okay, when your baby nurses, and it helps your uterus to contract, reducing post-delivery blood loss. The uterus is like your heart, okay? And when your heart is not pumping, when it's not contracting, you in big trouble, right? That's the same with the uterus. When you're not contracting your uterus, do you know how many black women don't think breastfeeding is important? Now, this is just one. And so when you guys come out of there and not breastfeeding, your uterus is not contracting, what you have is a system. It's a pump that's actually designed to pump out all of the toxins and impurities, all of the bad blood, and circulate that through your body. You're trapping it by not allowing that muscle to contract. So everybody that hasn't breastfed, they have more of a risk of ovarian cancer. They have more of a risk of developing cysts. They have more of a risk of post-op and post-birth blood loss because the uterus is not being contracted. Here's another thing that women can do. I have something in the book called the Castor Oil Pack Method. This is a very easy method. If you got about $20, and I really mean about $20, anybody can do this and heal fibroids. I'm about to give you the gift of health for free right now. And I'm going to talk about the castor oil pack. And this is in chapter 4 and chapter 5, the womb healing techniques. But the castor oil pack has been traditionally used to aid in cases with inflammation, pain, growth, or when increased circulation is desired. And it comes, when it comes to fertility, the castor oil pack, it could be great and supportive and a relaxing therapy. Even if you've had a child, and even if you have growths and things you want to take care of under your skin, the castor oil pack method also helps dissolve all types of growths, okay? So keep that in mind. It supports ovarian health. It supports fallopian tube health. It supports uterine health, and it supports the detoxification even before conception. And then it supports your good egg health. Now, the castor oil pack stimulates, this is how it works. It stimulates 3 important parts of the body: the lymphatic and circulatory systems and the liver. The stimulation of these body systems aids the body in healing the organs and tissues beneath where the castor oil pack is applied. Now, just real quick about the lymphatic system. It removes the toxins and waste from the area stimulated by the castor oil pack. And the lymphatic system provides each cell in the body a means to get rid of waste. So if you're doing a castor oil pack method, if I was Remy Ma, I would do a castor oil pack method on her because it's going to help her circulatory system, and it's also going to help contract her uterus if she breastfeeds, okay? And she needs to support uterine health right now. Also, and just to talk real quick about the liver, because phase 1 of the indigenous detox program is community-based for men and women, and I only have a few slides left. The liver is our chemical processing plant. This is why we're starting with phase 1. The liver removes hormones, drugs, and other biologically active molecules from the blood. It then converts these by changing their structure or inactivating them through different processes, and then excretes them to be passed through the kidneys. Okay, so we start with the liver first. We have to start with the liver first for everything.